Hey there, friends. My name is Jim, and today I had the awesome opportunity to speak with a gentleman named King of Kiev. King is a United States expatriate living in Ukraine who has decided to have the largest balls of anybody I've ever met and actually take up arms in helping the Ukrainians against the Russians. Now, me personally, I'm pretty neutral on this conflict as of now, but I would like to get as much information from both sides as I can. And once again, King has absolutely massive testicles for this. If you right below in the description, there is a donation page to donate to him and his 13 other fellows who are trying to get out of Ukraine currently, so they can all get out in one group. Me personally, I've vetted this information. This isn't a scam. This is actually true. So feel free to visit that if your heart is so inclined. Also, I would like to point out that did this interview roughly 35 hours ago, and I've been having to massively edit it. It is complete audio, and for some reason, YouTube continuously sends it back as inappropriate, and I've been having to edit it over and over and over again to just try and get it through that whatever weird filter they have. So please copy this link to this video, send it to your friends, get this out, because I guarantee you YouTube is not going to be recommending this to anybody. Now, without further ado, please like, share, subscribe, and let's take a look at what King has to say.
Sure. So I had to make a really difficult choice at that point in time. Um, I was responsible for bringing people here and helping them get a better life here in Ukraine, moving here. I'd also made a lot of local friends, both expats and local, who went expats that went full local, were working as teachers or local jobs even. And uh, I had to make a conscious choice. I could have got out. I could have gotten a car. I've had two opportunities to personally myself leave, and both times that I had the opportunity to present myself, I said, "No, I can't do it. I can't abandon my people here. I just can't abandon us." So I've trapped myself here in that situation. Guys with family, wives, kids, we gave them whatever support we could monetarily to help them get out of here because they didn't have much. No one here has much. And so we got all them out, and so now it's just single guys generally or guys with girlfriends stuck here. We don't have enough money to leave if we even could. There's no cars available. The train's running, but that's a chaos. You have to fight your way onto it. I don't know if it's running today. It was yesterday. One of our guys, Chris, him and his wife and his wife's son went to the train, took a look at it. It was pure chaos. They said there's no way they're getting on that train. They went back home. So there's no way out of here right now unless you have a lot of money. Cars, an old 1960s, 70s Soviet car used to go for about $1,000. It's way up in price if you could even find someone selling one. And there's 14 of us here in our bigger group, and I guess I've made my choice. I've given away a lot of my finances. I'm stuck here with them. I've thrown my lot in here. Three of our group have combat experience and have fought for the Ukrainian conflict in the past and have their citizenship here now. So they're out conducting operations and fighting for the Ukrainians. One guy's been gone outside for the last 2 days, so he can't make it back to where we are right now. It's been a hell of a situation. I didn't sign up for this. I just came here to build a better life for me and at the time my girlfriend, get married here, have kids, build a family, and now it seems that I'm in a position of war and keep survival and keeping our group alive at this point.
Well, that's like I said, that's absolutely admirable. But from a geopolitical standpoint, if I could go there for a minute, is there a large stance of people in your group that you would consider like Ukrainian nationalists who actually feel? I definitely understand that you feel strongly for the Ukrainian people and things, but I'm sure that the people who actually fought for the army feel a strong sense of connection to the land. But considering that there's been, I mean, from my point of view, obviously I'm an American, so I don't see it from the inside. But from my point of view, it seems like the U.S. went in there and installed somebody who was pro-U.S., and so they were under our sphere of influence for a certain amount of time, and now Russia's taking them back under their sphere of influence. This may be my naivety speaking, but is that something that most of you guys are willing to fight for, just the fact to remain under, like, or is it just a sense of fighting for the person next to you?
So overarching here, it's survival. It's fighting for the guy next to you at this point,
Gotcha.
and for our cat.
Yeah,
So
right. Yeah,
gotta
team
keep him
mascot.
alive. Yep, he is. He's been great for morale. Yeah, it's most of the guys are fighting for survival and want to just get out of here.
Hmm.
But there is the element of everyone here. No one here in our group is pro Russia. We just wish Russia would fuck off,
Right.
leave us alone. The general consensus in Ukraine, I would also say, is that no one is really pro EU either or pro NATO. They just want them to leave us alone too. That's the politicians who did that stuff and got us into this problem. Ukraine is very just pro-Ukrainian, Ukrainian nationalistic, and wants to be left alone. So, and
Is,
geopolitically, they're fighting over us.
isn't that the story of every country in the world right now? Just
It
trying to be
really
left
is.
alone, and getting ran through by random geopolitical elites that decide that our lives aren't quite worth as much as their stocks. Um,
That's absolutely true. The shockwave that gets you. The first thing that starts to hurt is your balls.
really?
Um, yeah, I don't know why this is. My friend prepared me and told me that if explosions are close enough to you and you get hit by the shockwave, your balls are going to start to hurt.
Oh,
And
jeez.
let me tell you, my nuts hurt right now. Uh,
That.
and
Hmm.
and there's so many of them that my chest is starting to hurt because it's just been exposed to these shockwaves so many times. This sucks. This is
I
physical pain. So,
yeah. I guess
ugh.
people hate war for a reason, but Jesus Christ, man, I hope you get out of there. That's fucking nuts. I personally wouldn't. I mean, you have more balls than I do. If I was to fly to another country and then all of a sudden war starts within like the first year, I'm probably gonna leave that country. Pretty darn quick if I had the opportunity to. But
Yeah,
then
I
again,
mean,
I'm a pussy.
yeah, I did. War brings out I guess, the best in people and the worst in people. I had no idea how I would react to a situation like this, and I don't know. I mean, I'm forced to it. I'm in it. Uh, I'm holding myself together. There's been other people that have literally broke down, like Jeff. Um, he decided he was going to YOLO solo it. He was running a Krishatic stream. He took it down. Actually, the Ukrainian Secret Service came by, knocked on his door, and said, "Hey, you don't have to, but we would appreciate if you took that stream down." And so he did.
Hmm.
He was our original evacuation plan, and now all he's doing is a bunch of fucking drugs. He's
Ah,
hopped up on like Ritalin, Adderall, something like that, and just riding it out in his own way. So he cracked. Our French guy here, he was part of the evacuation to come with us. He cracked. He immediately went to a metro when the first explosion happened, which is the last place, in my opinion, you want to be, is around the local population. All it takes is one pro-Russian to just start shooting a metro up. I'm sure it's going to happen.
oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
I mean, are there a lot of like super pro Russian people in Ukraine that are like I will fight for the other side kind of a thing?
there are enough that it makes it a real danger. People are being shot at from buildings by pro-Russian separatists, even here in Kiev.
Jeez.
They even have gone and got the free guns just to do that. So
Gotcha.
you don't want to be on street level. A bullet could come from anywhere.
Gotcha. Yeah. I wouldn't expect there to be a ton of Russian like separatists living in the inner. But then again, they had months and months to prepare, so they could have sent as many people in as. Is the border fairly? Is there freedom of movement between Ukraine and Russia prior to all this nonsense?
Not necessarily freedom of movement, but there's a lot of historically Russian people here. Ukrainian and Russian in Kiev are spoken 50-50. I mean, I don't know the
Right.
exact percent, but there's a lot of pro-Russians here. And there are people that want Ukraine to lose this war and to become part of Russia again. So, I mean, that's what the whole thing is about.
That's crazy. And my personally, I mean, I see the Jewish thing with Zelensky and his vice president was a Jew, and that he's under the influence of the United States and blah 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 blah. But nobody gives a shit about that when it comes to like your personal life. Like if Russia was going to come and invade Florida, where I live, I would definitely fight back, not because I felt any kind of like I love President Biden or anything, but
Right.
just I don't want Putin to necessarily. Well, it's not even that I don't really want Putin to be in charge. I wouldn't really give a shit if Putin was in charge, and it was just that's how it always was. But you can't just come over and take somebody's land. There's some manly thing in there that doesn't let that happen.
Absolutely. Yep, that's true. I mean, I compare it. It's a situation comparison. This is an example I've been giving is if Texas wanted to secede from the U.S., like the DPR and LPR areas kind of do want to secede and go back to Russia overall, would the U.S. allow Texas to secede? No, they wouldn't. They would fight for it, and
Nope.
that's kind of not even secede, but say join Mexico. That's kind of what's going on here. A similar situation with the DPR and LPR areas. They want to secede from Ukraine and go back to Russia in general. Not everybody supports that, but I would say a majority do. And
Well,
Ukraine is
yeah.
preventing that, and then Putin walks in here to try to take it.
Yeah, well, that's what I didn't expect because when he went into Donbas, that was kind of a okay. So he's not invading Ukraine from his side. Obviously, from the rest of the world, they're like, it's obviously Ukraine. You're invading Ukraine, but it was kind of his get out of jail free card, where he could be like, you don't have to sanction me. I'm not technically in Ukraine. Like kind of the I'm not touching you thing.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
then as soon as he decided to go for Kiev, I don't. Do you think that was like a calculated thing, or is he just fucking going crazy? I don't see why he would want to do what possible benefit this could give him.
He is absolutely calculated about this. Our internet and power on are at Putin's leisure.
Okay.
And I think that's definitely a psyop or an optics play on his part to win the hearts and minds of the people here as much as he can, so they don't shoot as much.
Right.
Um, yeah, if they take out power and internet, it's going to piss people off. So,
Well, there's something to
I
be
mean,
said about like if he was just to, what would you? Okay, well then I guess that's a good question. What would you think about if Russia? I'm sorry, if Putin and Zelensky were to get together and actually have an agreement where it's like, okay, I guess we'll just be demilitarized under Putin, as I'll still be in charge, but no more military. Would you think that would be a viable solution to the problem?
I don't think the Ukrainians are going to accept that.
Right.
They're not going to lay down arms. They do not want Russia. They don't want to be part of Russia. Um, no, I don't think that. I don't think Ukraine is going to surrender anytime soon, and I don't think anybody's going to lay down arms. Um, I don't think there's a political solution at this point where Ukraine makes any concessions whatsoever.
Well, that's the thing is the scarier part of it is Ukraine does have the rest of the world on its side, but once the rest of the world really gets on its side, that's when shit gets spicy for the rest of us. Not to say it isn't already spicy.
It's pretty spicy.
Yeah, it's pretty spicy. But no nukes or anything yet. Knock on wood.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things is people talk about nukes. As soon as one nuke goes off,
Yeah.
all of the nukes are going off, and we're all dead. That's the end of civilization. There's no chance that a nuclear bomb goes off, and the rest, and automated systems just don't start launching.
Well, that's the
So
problem because that first bomb only has to come from whoever is like the most crazy person, and I don't know if that's Putin because he's crazy or Biden because he's asleep and retarded or whatever other country decides to stake their claim because the way I see it happening, and this is just my prediction. We'll see how it plays out. Is and I've been said this since before they invaded Ukraine. I've been saying this for months. Russia's going to invade Ukraine. They're going to take over Ukraine. The whole media apparatus is going to force us to stare at that and be like, Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. Then China goes into Taiwan. Nobody talks about it because, at least insofar as the United States doesn't talk about it, because our media to industrial complex is completely controlled by Chinese nationalists. But and then who knows if North Korea goes on and tries to move the demilitarized zone or what happens from there.
yeah, I think we're going to see other conflicts in part of the world happen at this time. Oh man, that's the loudest explosion yet. I don't know if you could hear
Okay.
that in the background.
I
Oh
can't.
my
But
god.
feel free to go
Oh
whenever.
shit.
We already got the wrap up. I can edit it together, so feel free to go whenever you have to. I also, I mean, again, this is me coming from the outside, so I don't mean to be insulting, but George Soros and John Rothschild did come out and positively mention that Russia is doing something evil here and to leave and all that kind of thing. For me, I don't know if that's because they're actually being beneficent and that's what they really want, or if they have like an ulterior motive there. Is there anything you could suss out of that?
Wow, I really don't know. That's
Fair enough.
interesting. I wouldn't have thought that they would come out against the conflict. Usually
Yeah,
they support all the conflicts, and
that's
start them. So
yeah.
that's a weird one.
Especially speak well, then again, George Soros has been speaking that China is one of our biggest enemies of the West, and considering China and Russia just had that joint statement the other week about how they're going to support each other, there's probably something in there.
There's definitely something going on. I have no idea what it is.
That's probably for most of us. So from our end, again, one of the most cringy parts of this for me is my U.S. media's response to it. It's been don't get me wrong, I'm pro whoever's fighting, but it's the libshits on Twitter who don't actually care about any of this, but just want a virtue signal, putting Ukrainian flags and stuff in their insignias and as if they cared about something like this. It's particularly cringy. There's a lot of propaganda coming out from that end. Have you heard any of this Ghost to Kiev stuff or any of that kind of jazz?
The Ghost of Kiev is actually that I believe was a shit post on 4chan poll. Somebody made that up, and it's gone
Makes
to the
sense.
media. So Polk
Absolutely.
strikes again.
I figured it was something.
He is a real guy. He did get one kill. It was not an ace on the first day or six. That's propaganda and just literally poll trolling the world.
Of course, it's that is the one maybe kind of silver lining to this horrible cloud is how people like you and me can be influential in global politics in the shitposting genre.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw there was something. There was a. I think it might have been. It was either the New York Times or the Washington Post put out a tweet that the Ghost of Kiev's actual, the actual person was Sam Heidecker with his face, imposed on the. Yeah,
Love it.
and that's actually our how sophisticated our media apparatus is. So I'm sure they'll be able to walk us through this war without causing any international incidents.
Right,
Um, so is if there were an opportunity for you, obviously with my channel it's literally microscopic so it won't happen, but if there were an opportunity for you to say something to Zelensky, what would that be?
Wow, I wouldn't have a statement for him because anything I say is going to get me killed by one side or the other. So
Absolutely fair.
I just want to have all of us get out of here safe and alive, and hopefully just maybe hopefully we don't even have to leave and just rush the fucks off. That would be wonderful if they just leave us alone. So I think Ukraine's doing a really good job in the defense situation, and I feel protected by them, and I'm
Good.
glad they're fighting. But man, it's tough. It's really tough to say. I don't have a political horse in the game myself either, other than I love this country, I love this culture, I love these people. But at the end of the day, there's a level of survival here, and if we could leave Kyiv as a group, that's what I'd like to do to get us all to, say, Poland or Hungary or something. We have friends there that are willing to take us in and support us, but there's just no way out. So to
Sure.
Zelensky, I would say, on one hand, he's got a tiny hat, but on the other hand, well, he hasn't fled the country yet, apparently. So
Yeah, there's something to be said
keep
there.
up the good fight.
And conversely, I mean, your answers probably goes both ways, but what would you say to Putin?
Russians, fuck off.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think that's probably a good way to end it. I'm just gonna. Is there anything that you have to say? I mean, shout out your channel, shout out your anything that you have to throw out there. Any message you have for anybody who would like to hear. You have the absolute floor.
Sure. You brought up earlier the liberals that are just virtue signaling. Fuck all of them. If I could say that, you can edit that out if you want. But what I would like to say, since you have a link to the Go Get Funding page, GoFundMe took us down within 30 minutes. They don't support us. Go Get Funding is allowing our link to stay up, and we've raised some money. So if you'd post that as part of the video, I would appreciate
Absolutely, that'll be
your
in the
choice.
description.
So people are aware of that. That goes a long way. That hits directly our card here within 7 days, and we have some. Bank of America has extended me a credit line,
Good.
so that and we've spent that. So based on the donations coming in, they did a favor for us there, and so shout out to them. Thanks, Bank of America, and yeah, people are really helping. So it goes a long way. We were in a situation where it was we spent all our cash. ATMs are dry. Stores still have stuff, and we can buy stuff right now, but are starting to run out. We have enough supplies for, I would say, the group for 3 or 4 days, and more coming in with the donations we have received. We're going out to get supplies, bringing it back. So we're going to be good there right now. But we still don't have funds to get all of us out of here in one go, or even just 5 or 10 of us out of here, 5 at a time in a car, if the opportunity presents itself. So given what people done for us so far, we have hope now. We didn't have any hope there of the way out. We spent everything on just survival supplies. So now with the internet helping and strangers from the internet just literally doing amazing stuff for us. Shout out to Vinny and Minnie as well, Forex trader and his trading algorithm stuff. He came through with $500. Unbelievable. That was huge. I did an interview for him. So thanks to Vinny. And well, there's more explosions in the background, so I guess that's probably good for right now. I need to check what's going on.
Might be the cue, but I'll keep an eye. I'll certainly be donating, and I will put that link in the description for anybody who's out there. And I'm praying for you, man. Please keep it together and get to Poland as soon as you are all able to safely.
Will do, man. Thank you so much.
Salute. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye bye. So there you have it, guys. Again, I want to reiterate that this interview was done roughly 36 hours ago, so things on the ground have probably changed for him. Hopefully I'll be able to get another interview with him not too long. We'll see how things are going. Again, I'd just like to reiterate that YouTube has been vastly trying to censor this video for some odd reason that I couldn't figure out. I had to completely re-edit all of the audio. So please, like, share, subscribe, send it to your friends, go down, support links below, support me if you'd like, and you guys have a wonderful day.